Hello, movie lovers. Welcome to the MTE Movie Podcast. This is episode number 13, and we are the movie podcast from MovieTalkExpress.com. I'm Jacob Bartley, your regular host of the MTE Movie Podcast, and I'm here with my regulars, Gio Ramos and Jake Berlin. What's going on, guys?
Just hanging out. Lots of big news. Exciting weekend. Let's get it going.
How you doing, Jake?
Good. How you doing?
Pretty good, man. Not too bad. It's been a hot weekend. But we're still here to talk Disney and D23, and that's what our episode's going to be about today, all D23. And for those of you who don't know, D23 is sort of Disney's fan club in a way, and every other year, I believe, they have... Do they do D23 every other year or every year?
It's every year.
I'm pretty sure it's every year.
Okay, so every year they have this Expo where they celebrate everything Disney, and they basically bring, clips, trailers, cast members, present information. It's very similar to Comic-Con, but it's just all Disney and everything that falls under the Disney umbrella, which includes Star Wars, Marvel, Disney Pixar, and then the stuff that Walt Disney Studios makes themselves. So, it's just think of Comic-Con, but all Disney. And for those of you who remember, Marvel wasn't at Comic-Con this year, so this was kind of supposed to be their replacement for that, and they went pretty big with Marvel, so
they did some stuff.
I'm pretty happy with what we heard from Marvel. I didn't know this, but I was looking up some information on D23, and so I didn't know why it was called D23. But did you guys know this, that in 1923, Walt Disney left from Kansas City to move to Hollywood and founded Walt Disney Studios, and that's why it's called D23, because it was founded in 1923.
I didn't know
so
that.
It's pretty cool. Just a little background, because a lot of people don't even know what D23 is.
Oh, that's great.
So yeah. I just want to give a little background on that. But yeah, the way this is going to go, there was a lot of stuff to come from Star Wars, a lot of stuff to come from Marvel, a lot of stuff from Pixar and from Walt Disney Studios. So we're just going to run through each of those in different segments, and we're going to start with Star Wars. So there was a lot of stuff to come out of Star Wars, but no trailers, no clips, just, some information was confirmed, some cast members for future movies and some directors for future movies. So let's start with the movie that's coming out first, which is Star Wars: The Force Awakens. The Force Awakens comes out on December 18th of this year. And Gio's going to go ahead and give us some of the information that came from Star Wars: The Force Awakens. So what was that, Gio?
Yeah, just some highlights from what we collected. Unfortunately, none of us were able to go to D23, but sometime in the future, we're going to try. So basically, like Jacob said, there was no new footage, no trailers shown. It left some fans disappointed, but they still walked away with something. And that something was an official poster released by Drew Struzan, who is known for doing some of the most incredible artwork. I believe Back to the Future he did the poster for. And what's interesting about this poster is, well, the one thing that people were talking about is it shows the Finn character, played by John Boyega, holding a lightsaber. And you guys can take this for what it is, but a lot of people are speculating that he might be the person who becomes a Jedi Knight and not Daisy Ridley's character. So that was pretty interesting. So you had an official poster release, and during the event they did some stuff. Harrison Ford surprised the audience and went on stage along with Oscar Isaac, John Boyega, Lupita Nyong'o, and Daisy Ridley. They all talked about the film a little bit. J.J. Abrams and Disney executives all went out there, and it was just a nice wave to the fans, really. And that's all that they really did. So if you guys want to talk about this poster real quick.
Okay, let's talk about the poster first.
Yeah.
I know there was some concept art a few months ago that came out that had Finn in his outfit with the lightsaber on his side. We talked about this before. And Jake, you said you didn't think he is Force sensitive. You don't think he has the Force. Do you still think that?
Yep.
So you just think he's going to be wielding a lightsaber without the Force?
I think because Daisy Ridley has the staff, that she's going to put him in charge of the lightsaber.
Of the lightsaber?
I think JJ is going to finally give us a female Jedi that kicks total ass, which is what I want.
I hope so,
100%
honestly, because we didn't get to see that from Leia in the original trilogy. We saw some female Jedi in the prequels, but none of them were main characters, So that would be awesome. I mean, as much as I'd love to see her with a lightsaber, you know, I wouldn't mind John Boyega with a lightsaber and her using that staff, which looks very similar to Darth Plagueis' staff, right?
There's some crazy theories going around, and we don't really know like who her character is, but more than likely she's somehow related to Luke in a way, and it only makes sense for her to be more force sensitive.
Yeah, that would make more sense. I kind of want John Boyega's character to be force sensitive, just because. So he's basically just going to have to be a skilled swordsman. That's
what if they both were?
If they both are, that's even better, dude. I would be all in for that. Gio, do you think that John Boyega's character Finn is force sensitive?
Yes. But another part of me thinks that they're doing some misdirection here with this poster.
Yeah, maybe. That's the whole thing, because why would they come out and tell us he's a Jedi, you know?
Yeah, question. So can Finn learn the ways of the Force?
You have to have it
or do you have to have that
in you, right?
Midichlorian bullshit?
Well, okay, so there's no Jedi Order anymore. So they don't go through those tests. Like how Anakin went through it and stuff like that. Like Obi-Wan chose Luke because, you know, he's a Skywalker, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But we don't know how these new Jedi are chosen and, like, what kind of tests they go through, or if they even go through tests. Like, are they just, like, do their masters pick them and they teach them the ways of the Force or whatever it is. But he could very well still be a Jedi even if he's not Force sensitive. It might just work out like that.
That's very true. Maybe in this time period, you don't have to be Force sensitive to be considered a Jedi. So you can still be a Jedi Knight, but not be Force sensitive.
And I just have one more quick question. So you're saying, you guys keep talking about Daisy Ridley having this
staff, yeah.
Is she going to be fighting Jedis with lightsabers with the staff, or?
I have no idea, but
I can see that staff getting cut in half.
I'm pretty sure this staff is more powerful than any lightsaber. I don't know what it can do. Jake might know.
I know some things, but
we don't even know if that's the staff from Darth Plagueis.
Every shot we've seen her in so far, she has the staff with her. I think it's on purpose, and I think that she was put on Jakku isolated like Luke was as a kid, and I think she was put there with a staff because Kylo Ren is searching
for that staff,
for relics of Sith.
Yeah. Okay.
And I think that everything we've seen in the trailers so far, I think it's going to be the first 20 minutes of the movie.
I hope so.
I think that's what it's going to be.
I really hope so.
I read something on Screen Rant last night that just like blew my mind. But I think that staff is going to end up being an old Sith relic. And if she's able to tap into it, then okay. But if Kylo Ren gets a hold of that thing, oh man.
Dude, I think eventually somebody will who's not supposed to have it.
Problem is who's able to face him
once
when he has
gets
it.
That.
Because I don't think we're going to see Luke this movie. I think we'll see him for about 5 or 10 minutes. That's it.
There was a photo that leaked. I don't know if you guys saw it. It showed Luke Skywalker. In full
I
Jedi
saw
attire.
that. Dude,
Cool.
You think it's going to come down to a showdown with Kylo Ren and Luke? Not in this one, but maybe Episode 9? And Luke dies, maybe, defending.
I think Kylo Ren will kill Luke. Honestly, I could see that.
Dude, Luke
like
is going to be
Obi-Wan
very
style.
powerful at this point, I think.
I think it's hard to say because
we have no idea.
It's honestly. Just we don't know who Kylo Ren is operating under,
and we don't know his real name is.
I have also heard whispers that that the lightsaber Finn has is Luke's one from Cloud City, right?
Yeah.
Well, I've heard that the lightsaber actually opens up a Sith tomb.
Really?
So there's so many things that can actually happen in the movie, like where it's going. And
we have no idea.
And it all depends on who Kylo Ren's operating under. Like, is he operating under a master? Is he operating under the First Order? Or is he acting alone? It's like
the Knights of Ren?
Yeah, but it kind of feels like he's almost a rogue knight now. Like, he's kind of separating himself. But, yeah, I don't know.
Well, J.J. Abrams came out and said that Kylo Ren isn't his real name.
I'm going to say it. He's a solo.
You think so? You think he's their
he's a
kid?
solo
And
kid.
do you think Daisy Ridley is their kid too?
I think, but they're not twins. In the
not
in
twins.
the expanded universe, they're twins, but I think they're
just brother and sister.
Yes.
He's probably older, and
Yeah.
they've got separated.
Because I also heard, this was months ago, where there was a scene in the movie apparently where Kylo Ren got a hold of the Millennium Falcon.
Oh wow!
And he walked through the hallways. He sat down in the cockpit, and he had this look on him where it's like he is reminiscing being there before.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that would be something.
So
when he was a kid,
it's
I'm
all
curious
pointing towards him.
how they
being
got
a solo.
separated, if that's the case. But anyways, we can speculate all day on this. We can talk Star Wars for hours. But so Harrison Ford was at D23. Did this surprise any of you guys? Or he went to Comic-Con and D23. That's crazy.
It doesn't surprise me.
People were saying that he wasn't going to show up at any of these things, and as far as I know, he hates going to public events like this. So was that surprising to you?
Nah, because once he went to Comic-Con and he saw the love, he got addicted to that feeling. He's like, I gotta go back. What's the next one? D23? Oh yeah, I'll make an appearance there. And he just showed up and said some words, and that's all he needs to say, you know?
It doesn't surprise me, but it gives me great confidence because he believes in this movie.
Oh yeah,
He full on believes in what they're doing and where they're taking it, and especially his character. It's not shocking, but I love seeing him showing up.
It's only a good sign. It just means that he's all in. He's excited about this, and I hope he doesn't die in the first movie. Everyone's saying he's gonna kick the bucket in the first movie. I don't want him to.
Bite the dust.
It might be cool for the story, but I want to see him throughout the trilogy. Maybe
You won't
kill
see him
in
throughout
9.
the trilogy.
All right.
I don't think you will.
Yeah, because he's obviously not gonna. He probably won't be in a movie past the trilogy, even if he lives. But so they might as well kill him. You know.
Well,
Find
he
a
wanted
way
to die
kill
in
him.
Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, but I don't want him to. I don't want them to kill him just to kill him. You know.
Oh no, it's gonna be a
the-
legendary.
It has
death.
to serve the story, and
It's
it
gonna
has
be like an Obi-Wan in a New
It can't
Hope
be
kind of
like-
death. Well, not death, but
It can't be like, oh, he's dead now. Let's move on. Like nothing happened. Like I want it has to be important and serve the story. All right, let's move on from Star Wars: The Force Awakens. We're all excited for it. It's coming out this year. You know, we're only going to get more information in the coming weeks, months, leading up to the movie. So there was some news regarding Star Wars Episode 9. We already know who's directing Star Wars Episode 8, which is Rian Johnson, the director of Looper.
and
but
Brick. I'd say check out Brick too.
Brick?
Yeah,
It's one of his movies?
It's a smaller movie. It's
Wow, I never
awesome.
even heard of that.
Yeah.
I got to check
Joseph
it out.
Gordon love it.
I loved Looper, so I think he's perfect for a Star Wars movie.
He's gonna
dude.
kill it.
But a lot of people were wondering who's going to direct Episode 9. It hadn't been announced yet. Was JJ going to come back? Were they going to have Rian Johnson do it? Bring in somebody new? But the director was officially announced at D23, and it's Jurassic World director Colin Trevorrow. I got to say, I like this news. Gio has a little bit of information on this announcement, so what do you got for us?
Yeah, so Lucasfilm, they've been looking at Colin for a while now, ever since Safety Not Guaranteed. And they were waiting to see how fans would respond to Jurassic World. Obviously, it was a enormous positive response, and the box office killed
It's the third highest grossing movie of all time.
Yeah.
Like, can't argue with that.
Dinosaurs, man. But yeah, so Kathleen Kennedy went on stage, made the announcement. Basically, that she and Lucasfilm, everyone, they all believe in Colin Trevorrow to deliver. And that's pretty much it. They just announced him as the director. The film still doesn't have a release date, but it's scheduled for 2019.
Yeah,
So
Jake, what do you think about this,
it's
man?
May of 2019.
Is it May?
I could be completely
yeah,
wrong.
it's summer 2000. Oh wait.
Or is that episode 8?
Episode 8
Is May
of 2017.
Okay.
Because it's 6 months after Rogue One. So I don't know if there's a for sure date for Episode 9 yet.
I would say that it's probably going to be.
It's probably going to be May, I would say.
Yeah, I don't know. It might be a year after episode 8.
Yeah.
Like they might go straight into it.
Oh, okay.
But I could be totally wrong.
I think they're gonna do because the Han Solo movie comes out in 2018.
Yeah, you're right.
So I think, well, who knows? They could give us two.
2 Star Wars
Why
movies
not?
a year.
But as far as Colin Trevorrow directing Episode 9, do you like the news?
Oh, I love it. I think it's awesome. So they announced it on Saturday. Friday night, I watched Safety Not Guaranteed for the first time.
Dude, I want to
love
watch it.
It's awesome.
Was it good?
It's really good. It's a very smaller movie, obviously.
Yeah.
And and it's a very different kind of movie.
It looks really good. I watched the trailer.
The character moments are really cool. But as far as Star Wars, I think it's awesome. The guy's on a hot streak right now. Also, he did Jurassic World, and then he's kind of going back to the indie feel with the smaller film he's doing next. That just got Naomi Watts signed on.
He is working on that.
And then he's going to go to a bigger film. So
I think
it's kind of like
awesome.
It's going to like center him almost. But no, when they announce it, all I can think about is him, JJ, Ryan Johnson, and Kathleen Kennedy all collaborating on a Star Wars universe. It's just like
it's
the
great.
brain trust, and it's awesome.
Like, I personally loved Jurassic World. I admit it's not a great movie per se, but it's one of the funnest movies I've seen all year. It was such a huge movie too. I think Episode 9 is going to be such large scale, and I think he's a great guy to handle it. He has so much experience. Once he gets to this movie, he's going to have a good amount of experience. He's going to have made his indie films, where his passion projects, and then he has experience with the big blockbuster, with working with a big studio. So I think by the time he gets to making Star Wars Episode 9, he's going to be primed for it. So I love it. I think he's going to do a great job. I love the mixture. You get JJ, and then you get Johnson, and then you get Trevorrow. I love that they're using a different director for each movie, because I don't want one director to get too fatigued over Star Wars, because I've heard JJ come out, he would love to just be a fan and not have to work on the material, so that's why he's not working on it anymore. But Gio, what do you think of Colin Trevorrow directing Episode 9? I know you don't feel as fondly of it as we do.
Well, I don't want to be the party pooper here. All right, so I have not seen Safety Not Guaranteed, so I'm kind of reserving judgment a little bit. That's a movie I've been wanting to see for a while. I have some worries about it, only because I wasn't as high on Jurassic World as the rest of the world. But, I mean, we'll see. Sure, yeah, give him a shot.
What worries you? Like, what about Jurassic World did you not like that?
Well, I mean, we can
about Episode 9.
Do you want me to review the film, or
no? Just like what aspects of the movie worry you?
Well, he co-wrote Jurassic World, if I'm not mistaken, and like story-wise, it hiccups every now and then. Honestly,
he won't be writing Star Wars.
And I don't want him to write Star Wars.
Lawrence Kasdan will be writing Star Wars.
But like I said, I'm kind of reserving judgment until I see Safety Not Guaranteed.
Yeah, we gotta
because that's the
watch
film
that.
I really want to watch, because that will really give. Because yeah, they're not going to give him writing and directing duties for Star Wars Episode 9. So I mean, yeah, give him a shot. I mean, I'm just, if Star Wars Episode 7 and 8 kill it, then there's going to be a lot of pressure on
That's true.
Trevorrow.
That's very true.
Yeah. And who knows, I'm going to watch Safety Not Guaranteed. I'm going to love it. He's going to do this indie film. I might love it. And then we're going to be like, we're not worried here.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, for now, just.
So probably
We'll
the
see.
biggest piece of news to come out of the Star Wars panel from D23 is regarding Rogue One, which is a spin-off movie revolved around the events before Star Wars Episode 4 of the Rebels stealing the stars to the plans to the Death Star. And there was quite a few things that come out of this, including the official title, a photo of the cast, and the cast officially being announced. Gio, why don't you go ahead and tell them what exactly was announced regarding Rogue One?
Okay, so the first bit of news, Rogue One will not be called Star Wars Anthology Rogue One. Instead, they are now calling it Rogue One, A Star Wars Story. That is the official title. And along with that, we have an official photo that was released, and it revealed the entire cast. Well, the entire cast wasn't in the photo, but some of the main players, presumably Felicity Jones's Rebel team.
Yeah, that's what it looks like, her team.
Yeah, and it confirmed castings like Forrest Whitaker, Diego Luna, Ben Mendelsohn, Donnie Yen, and along with several other recognizable faces. So pretty much we got a casting announcement, a photo, our first look, and an official title.
Okay, let's start with the title. So back when they first announced Rogue One, they came out Star Wars Anthology Rogue One, and I don't know if I liked it as a title, but I liked it as a way to reference the movie, like the anthology films. So are these films no longer referred to as the anthology movies? Is what I'm curious about. But when I first heard the name Rogue One, A Star Wars Story, I was like, huh? I wasn't sure if I liked it or not. But then I saw the logo of it and the way they did it. It was like a big Rogue One name, and then it said, like, the A was really small, and the Star Wars was like the Star Wars logo, and then a Star Wars story, and I was like, it fits. I think it fits, and I do like it, but I thought the Star Wars anthology films was a great way to reference these side stories. So I don't know if they're just going to be called side Star Wars stories or what, but Jake, what do you think about this official title of Rogue One?
Is it officially called Rogue One,
Yes.
A Star Wars Story?
Yes.
Because I feel like that's not what they're going to call it.
That's the name of the
I
movie.
feel like they're going to
That's
call
what
it
they-
Star Wars Rogue One.
I think
Because Rogue One, A Star Wars Story, it just doesn't make sense. And like, if looking at it on a movie theater screen or like going to buy a ticket or something, it doesn't make sense.
No, I'm there with you. Yeah.
I liked Star Wars Anthology Rogue One, but I personally think that they're going to go with Star Wars Rogue One. I think when they put a title on a trailer, on a poster, whatever it is, I think it'll be called Star Wars Rogue One. If it is called A Star Wars Story, it doesn't hinder any way of me wanting to watch the film,
yeah.
because I just wrote a piece on it this morning, but I'm flipping excited for this movie.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
this image, like, I didn't realize how excited I was until I saw the image. It like blew my mind how awesome it looks, and the cast, is unbelievable.
Yeah, let's talk about the cast. What do you think about the cast? A lot of these names were thrown around before, but now we officially know.
On talent and the diversity alone, it's incredible. I mean, Felicity Jones, obviously she's killing it and everything right now. Riz Ahmed, who was remarkable next to Jake Gyllenhaal in Nightcrawler.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Diego Luna, who he's always had these supporting roles, but he's always been really good in them. And then you have guys like Donnie Yen and Ben Mendelsohn, who's become this great actor. Forrest Whitaker, who's always been there. All the diversity of people they brought in for this kind of movie is awesome. And I know that we've kind of been led on to think that this is going to be like a team of soldiers that are going to steal the Death Star plans. I'm calling it. I think that's a group of bounty hunters. I think that they're a group of bounty hunters that are hired by the rebels. I don't think they're soldiers that are with the rebellion at all.
Oh yeah. That was the rumor all along, that Rogue One was going to be a bounty hunter movie of bounty hunters stealing the plans to the Death Star. I just hope that rumor about Felicity Jones being Boba Fett's daughter is not true. They don't have to be connected like that. But as far as the cast, man, this is incredible. It's an incredible cast. I love Felicity Jones, man. I know you watched it recently, Gio. Have you seen The Theory of Everything?
It's on my DVR right now.
Dude, she is awesome.
Well, she's good in everything else I've seen her in.
She is a great actress, and she's drop dead gorgeous. I'm glad we're getting a beautiful woman in a badass role. She's the leader of this team, which it looks like it's going to be. And I don't know how to pronounce his name, but Riz Ahmed, you mentioned him from Nightcrawler. He was fantastic in that movie, and I'm curious to see what type of role he has in Rogue One. Forrest Whitaker, great actor. Ben Mendelsohn, we don't know the extent of his role. People have speculated he's a bad guy. Is he in that photo?
No.
Okay, so yeah, he's probably a bad guy. I was trying to remember who he was in The Dark Knight Rises, but he's the guy that Bane kills, right? And when he snaps his neck, yeah, I just looked it up. So that's pretty awesome. I'm very looking forward to this, especially with the cast. Gio, what do you think about the cast?
Well, first off, about the title, it has Disney written all over it. A Star Wars Story.
Oh yeah,
I don't
it's
like it.
Totally Disney.
Switch it to Anthology. But anyways, I love the cast. I do. Forrest Whitaker, that guy delivers every time. But Donnie Yen, man, I want him. Hopefully he can fight. I mean, they allow him to fight in this movie. Like, he's carrying what looks like a walking stick or something.
Did you zoom in on him?
Huh?
I think he's blind.
Yeah, he looks
Really?
blind. Yeah.
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 Wow.
Now, is he playing an actual character from the canon or from the expanded
Well,
universe?
we don't.
Because there was
without
a
a
blind
name.
warrior, and he looks.
Yeah, without a
pretty similar.
name, I don't know. But if you look up on his arm, it looks like he has some kind of like almost Boba Fett type thing on his arm that controls something or some kind of weapon or
Wow.
something.
Yeah, so he's gonna be badass, and I mean, just everything with what you guys said about the cast, I agree. It looks great, and yeah, I mean, this film is shaping up really well. Gareth Edwards, and yeah, it's awesome.
So you guys don't really like the title then, if that is indeed the title, right?
No,
I-
but I don't think it's the title.
Here's the thing, when
I don't
I-
think it's the title.
I think they came out and said this is the official title
Because
of the
when
movie.
they announced Rogue One, they announced it as Star Wars Rogue One.
Why would they go out of their way to change the name again? You think they're going to go back?
I don't think they changed the name. I think it's just a nice little logo.
Okay. Just here's the thing with me. I didn't like it when I first saw it, but then when I saw the way the logo looks, I thought it looked awesome. But here's another thing you got to think about. They're trying to reintroduce Star Wars to this younger generation, right? So there's these 10-year-old kids who this is going to be their first time seeing Star Wars on the big screen. Or not, I'm not saying Rogue One, but these new movies, Star Wars The Force Awakens, Rogue One, Star Wars Episode 8. Do you really think little kids are going to walk around saying Star Wars Anthology, Rogue One? Like, it's so much easier for them to say Rogue One, a Star Wars story. Then the kids, it's so much easier for them to understand.
Or Star Wars Rogue One.
I think they just did it to make it simple. But if they name it Star Wars Rogue One, you run the risk of people getting confused with the original trilogy, because the trilogy, Star Wars The Force Awakens, then you have Star Wars Rogue One, people are going to think it's the next movie in the trilogy. So you have to separate it, Rogue One, a Star Wars story. I don't mind it. I think it was smart on their part.
It just doesn't fit.
I agree. It's a little odd. But anyways, let's move on. So that was all the news to come out of the Star Wars from D23. Well, there was a couple other little things, but we're not going to cover everything
Star
from
Wars
here.
Land and
But,
Disneyland.
Yeah, so let us know in the comment section if you guys like any of this news. Colin Trevorrow directing. If you think Finn is going to be a Jedi or not with that can use the Force. Do you like the official title of Rogue One, supposedly? Do you like the cast of Rogue One? Please let us know in the comment section. And we're going to move on to Marvel now. I think Marvel stole the show. Like,
Really?
Is there any denying that?
Yeah, but I mean, we'll
Oh,
get into
really?
that. Yeah, I do.
I don't know.
But
I mean, we weren't there. We don't know.
Yeah,
we didn't
yeah,
watch it, so
yeah,
we have no idea.
yeah.
But as far as stuff that I'm excited about and stuff that I care about more, I was more excited reading the Marvel stuff. So, and that's all this news is us reading stuff, because there's no leaked trailers, there's no photos, anything. It's all written descriptions online. So, there was a clip shown from Captain America Civil War. There was a lot of concept art shown for Doctor Strange. And that was pretty much the two big things that were focused on regarding Marvel at D23. Gio, why don't you explain to them what the footage of Civil War was?
Okay, so this was a pretty lengthy trailer, we'll call it, for Civil War. But just to quickly summarize, the footage showed a chase scene between Cap, Falcon, and Black Widow, and they were all trying to stop Crossbones, who was attempting I'll call it a bombing mission. All right, we don't know if it's a suicide or whatnot. So basically,
some type of terrorist act, right?
Yeah. So Crossbones taunts Cap by saying, Bucky Barnes, your pal, he remembered you, and whatnot. And then there was also that post-credit scene that we saw of Ant-Man.
Oh, a little like extended version of it, right?
Extended version of showing Bucky, Falcon, and Cap. And then we have some narration from General Thunderbolt Ross, played by William Hurt, telling Captain America, "The world owes you an unpayable debt, but sometimes." Oh wait, never mind.
Well, it said sometimes they see him as a vigilante rather than a hero.
Yeah, I started reading Tony.
And then they showed some tension between Cap and Tony, kind of similar to what we got in Avengers: Age of Ultron.
Tony's telling Cap
wants to punch him in his perfect teeth.
I want to punch you in your perfect teeth.
Yeah, those were the words. And then there was a clip of Black Panther showing him with his claws, right?
Yeah.
I can't wait to see that,
His
man. That's gonna
retractable
be
claws.
awesome.
Black Widow faces off against Hawkeye, and then they have a little bit of a chat while they're fighting. We're still friends, right? And then Hawkeye's like, depends on how hard you hit me. And then finally, it was like a little bit of a after the trailer, you know, when they show a logo, then they show another clip. I don't know what that's called, but
Oh, like the very last scene of
yeah.
the trailer, like
yeah, they show Scott Lang meeting Captain America and his buddies for the first time, and then Scott Lang pretty much fanboys out.
Yeah,
He goes,
geeks
Captain
out.
America, it's an honor. I'm shaking your hand too long. And then he rambles about, you know, how there's tons of heroes in the world, and he, you know, gave Ant-Man a call, and he's like, thanks for thanking of me, and then thank you for thinking
dude, that
of me.
totally
And-
fits with Paul Rudd.
Yeah, it was a
if
nice-
he really met Captain America, you know.
Yeah, it was a nice
I can't
fun
wait.
moment.
Jake, what do you think of this? The sound of this trailer? Does it sound cool to you?
It's epic.
Yeah, dude.
This movie's at this point my most anticipated for next year.
Really?
Yeah, it's just it already was before I read the trailer description, but then I read the trailer description. And it's just like what the Russo brothers are doing. Like, I haven't seen the footage, obviously, but
Yeah.
what the Russo brothers have been able to do with all these characters, but still focus it on Captain America, while still making it that Winter Soldier feel we got, the very serious tone, with the little jokes here and there, because you have someone like Ant-Man obviously in it. But what got me is, because I've read the comic books, is when I read that there was a shot of Cap and Winter Soldier fighting alongside each other.
That's gonna
Like,
be
it
awesome.
it got me for some reason. It's a little bit of a nostalgia for me, just because I've read the comic books and I know, and but yeah, I mean, Black Panther, Falcon, Scarlet Witch. I mean, just having everybody. I also heard that Vision's got a totally new suit on.
Oh, that's cool.
So yeah, it's gonna be nuts, and I can't wait to see the footage. I'm sure it won't be here until December when Star Wars rolls around, but it's gonna be really, really cool.
Yeah, I really don't mind that we don't
Yeah,
get any
me
footage
either,
right now.
yeah.
I can wait, dude.
Yeah.
We still got movies this year to look forward to, so I really don't mind. I think this sounds amazing. It's consistent with Marvel, with the humor and the fun, but it's also consistent with the Captain America movies, or at least Winter Soldier. You know, it sounds like it has that serious tone. And don't forget, Winter Soldier had a lot of comedy in it too, especially the bantering between Black Widow and Cap and stuff like that. So it's not totally out of pocket to have that humor in this movie, and especially with Ant-Man, dude. You know, Paul Rudd as Scott Lang is going to be that comedic relief in these Marvel movies, especially if we're going to slowly see Robert Downey Jr. take a step back. I think Paul Rudd's going to take over that role as the comedic relief. But yeah, as you can tell, we all love what we're hearing from this Captain America Civil War footage. And like I said, I'm not really upset that we don't get to watch it. No trailer is expected to be released soon, right, Jo?
Well, I'm going to say, yeah, I mean, no official announcement, but I'm going to say we're going to get a teaser
with Star Wars.
within the next month, and an official trailer with Star Wars.
That
Within the
would
next
make
month?
sense.
Really?
I think so.
I think. Well, okay.
I mean, who knows? I don't think so, but I think by Star Wars, at least a teaser.
Well, I think they're going to spend the next few months focusing on The Force Awakens.
Oh, definitely.
And then once The Force Awakens comes out, boom, Civil War.
Oh, yeah. So, moving on with Marvel, so apparently, from what I heard, they showed like a whole, kind of like a trailer of concept art put together for the Doctor Strange movie. And the Doctor Strange movie is going to be the Marvel movie following Captain America Civil War. I think it comes out later in the year.
November
2016.
November. So, yeah. So, it's directed by Scott Derrickson, the director of the first Sinister movie, and from what I'm hearing, the concept art was amazing. From what I heard, I don't know what was in it, but Gio, do you know any information about that?
Yeah, so real quickly, Kevin Feige took the stage and introduced a sizzle reel. And I'll get into that in a moment, but there was a video message from Benedict Cumberbatch basically teasing Doctor Strange. It's about girls, cars, explosions, and astral projections
What?
into multiple universes. Because Stephen Strange, prior to his accident, he's like a Tony
A
Stark.
playboy. Okay.
He's like Robert Downey Jr. in real life.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. He's
so
a
that's why I said
neurosurgeon,
girls and cars and explosions.
which would be interesting. I want to see.
I can't wait to see Benedict Cumberbatch
as
play
a
that role.
player. Yeah.
That's gonna be awesome, dude. Wow.
Yeah. So Feige goes on to say that Doctor Strange will be as weird as anything we've ever done, and a couple other people rephrased what he said. Like one source mentioned that the concept art was some intriguing physics-defying stuff on display, with cities twisted and transformed in scenes that look straight out of Inception, along with cars flying through the air in strange helix shapes. There's lots of comparisons from this footage to Inception.
Wow.
As far as visually.
That's very encouraging. I love to hear that.
And furthermore, let's see, there was a artwork of Cumberbatch wearing a very traditional version of Doctor Strange outfit, including the red cape and the gray hair on his temples. There was a rough sequence of plot events from Doctor Strange's accident to his search for the healer in foreign lands, the ancient one, all the way to him firing energy bolts from his hands. And the footage confirmed Chiwetel Ejiofor as villain Baron Mordor, which was shown in the concept art, and he was they teased a little bit of a battle between him and Strange at the end. But yeah, that's pretty much the rundown of Doctor Strange.
Dude, this movie is slowly becoming one of my most anticipated, man. I cannot wait. I didn't know much about Doctor Strange a year ago, but since it got closer to the movie, and ever since that Easter egg in Civil War, in Winter Soldier, my bad, I've been really looking up on the character, and I can't wait. And you guys have you guys seen that animated movie? I know,
Yes.
Gio, you've seen it, right? I heard it's pretty good. I haven't seen it, but from what I've heard is that the movie's going to be similar to that animated movie. Mm-hmm. So I can't wait. I love Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange. I think he's going to kill it. And this is going to show how Marvel can play into different genres. You know, we get the heist movie with Ant-Man. We get the political thriller with Winter Soldier, and it looks like we're getting some type of horror type, different dimension movie. I don't know what you would call that. Sci-fi movie.
True sci-fi, anyway.
So how does this all sound to you, Jake? Are you looking forward to Doctor Strange?
Yeah, I mean, it's up there for me for sure. I mean, I'm not gonna get all like super crazy about concept art just because.
And who knows if that concept art made it to the movie?
And I haven't seen it, so I can't really be like, oh yeah, but it's gonna kill it. I love Scott Derrickson as the choice just because of his horror background, but also because I think it's a great move by Marvel because Doctor Strange opens up the Marvel twice as big as Guardians did with the dimensions and all that kind of stuff. It's going to change what we know about the MCU. It's going to open up some crazy things going on. I like what I'm hearing about the colors and the sort of sequences they're going for, and the comparison to Inception's unreal. But that's hard to believe just because it is concept art. There's no footage, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah, Chiwetel Ejiofor. Wow, I can't wait to see this guy as a villain in a Marvel film. I think it's gonna be awesome.
Especially as a sorcerer, evil sorcerer.
Him and Cumberbatch on screen.
Amazing,
awesome. Please don't waste them.
Yeah, let me ask you guys this. So a lot of people thought that in Ant-Man, when he goes to the quantum realm, that it had something to do with Doctor Strange. But a lot of people say, no way, that it's a different, because the quantum realm is a physical thing, and what Doctor Strange goes to is like a spiritual realm, So do you guys think that has anything to do with each other? Because those helix shapes, we saw those in the quantum realm when Ant-Man went there.
I read up that Kevin Feige indeed confirmed that it
is connected.
Teased, or I don't want to say teased, more than teased. It's somehow connected.
I like that because it subtly connects all the MCU movies. Do you think that it is connected?
Yeah. That was definitely a nod to Doctor Strange, and I think that it's gonna. I'll just say that it might play out with a certain character called Hank Pym.
Yes, I honestly. So this is a little bit spoilers for Ant-Man, but it's been out for a while now. So, Janet Van Dyne, Hank Pym's wife, went to the quantum realm, and she's stuck there. And at the end of Ant-Man, Hank Pym realizes that he can go to the quantum realm and come back because Ant-Man did it. So he says, is it possible? How about Doctor Strange in Ant-Man 2, he pulls Wasp out of the quantum realm? That would be awesome. I think it's totally a possibility.
Something like that happening. I mean, that's
Or maybe it doesn't have to be in Ant-Man. Maybe it can be in Infinity War. Who knows? We need the original Wasp back to kill Thanos.
What do you think?
Who knows?
No, I mean, it's a possibility, but it's just because there's so much going on already. It's hard to think that opening up another plot story like that, it'd be hard. But it's a total possibility.
Well, if anything, Ant-Man 2 won't come until Phase 4, right? So you figure Infinity War 2, half these fools are going to be wiped out.
I'm pretty sure we're going to get Ant-Man 2.
By far.
It's a hit.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's move on from Marvel. We could talk Marvel and Star Wars all day, but moving on to something a little different. Another property under the Disney umbrella, Pixar. Disney Pixar, you guys know them. They make all the great, a lot of the great animated movies, the Toy Story movies, The Incredibles, Ratatouille. They just made Inside Out this year, which was one of the best movies of the year. They have another movie coming out later this year, The Good Dinosaur. And Disney is killing it. They have 3 of the biggest properties in Star Wars, Marvel, and Pixar. And there was quite a bit of news to come out of Pixar. I'm really surprised. And I'm falling in love with Pixar with every movie they do. I loved Inside Out. So, and they kind of gave us a little bit of a slate. Not really. They didn't give us necessarily all the movies and their release dates, but they gave us a poster and a little bit of some ideas of what to expect in the coming years from Pixar. So, Gio, what came out of the Pixar department from D23?
Yes, sir. First thing we're going to talk about is Toy Story 4. Now, a lot of fans aren't really excited about Toy Story 4, and I mean, the reason why is because Toy Story 3 ended the trilogy so well. It closed the chapter. No more. That's the end of Woody and Buzz. We don't need anymore, right? But John Lasseter came out and said that this will not necessarily serve as a direct sequel to the trilogy or continue the story, so to speak, but serve as a like a standalone kind of romance between Woody and Bo Peep, who was missing from Toy Story 3. So John Lasseter was president at D23 and spoke about how the narrative hook will propel the story forward. Basically, Bo Peep is missing from Toy Story 3, as I just said. Woody and Buzz go out on an adventure to find her and bring her back. And Lasseter is calling it a very special and emotional love story, one that he pulled from his personal inspirations, and is extremely funny. That's pretty much all we got as far as Toy Story 4. So we're pretty much just taking John Lasseter's word, which is a pretty strong word when you look at what Lasseter has done for Pixar.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, go ahead. Toy Story 4.
I am so ashamed to admit this, but I have not seen Toy Story 3, and
you're a failure.
Oh, man.
I know. What's wrong with me? I grew up on Toy Story. If I could pick one movie that maybe I watched the most as a kid, it's Toy Story, the original Toy Story. Toy Story 2 is a great movie, but I didn't like it as much as the first Toy Story. Okay. But I heard Toy Story 3 is incredible. And I heard there's a lot of emotional stuff in there. Just thinking about watching it got me excited because I might go watch it today. Like, I really will.
Well,
so
let's pause the podcast and go watch it. And then
I know, real quick. No, so it's hard for me to, so I can't really see how they're going to jump from 3 to 4 because I haven't seen 3, but I feel like Toy Story 3 probably ends Andy's story and his involvement with these toys. And now they can, whether they belong to another human going forward or not, I think they can keep this going on forever. Toys don't age. So they can go on forever. Jake, are you excited for Toy Story 4 and the information that came from it?
Yeah, I'm definitely excited. I mean, Toy Story, along with Star Wars, is kind of my childhood.
Oh, yeah.
And I have seen Toy Story 3.
Oh, really?
I think that, it did end well, but I'm not surprised that they're going forward. And I like that they're kind of taking a different approach to it, too, with the whole almost damsel in distress kind of thing, But it's going to be fun. Some of the best parts of the whole franchise is the Woody Buzz relationship. So, obviously the other characters from the other movies are going to be in there, but to see that they're going to really focus on Woody and Buzz is pretty cool. It's definitely going to be cool to see a different aspect of the movie. So.
Oh yeah, I'm curious. I'm wondering because it sounds like humans aren't even going to be in the movie. That's what it sounds like to me. But who knows? They could just be in the background like they always were. All right. Well, also coming out of Pixar was some information regarding the sequel to Finding Nemo, Finding Dory. And those of you who are familiar with Finding Nemo, she was a fan favorite side character. She was one of the main characters in Finding Nemo. And as far as I know, this story is going to take place 6 months after the events in Finding Nemo. Gio, why don't you go ahead and run down some of the information that came out of Finding Dory?
Yeah, so director Andrew Stanton spoke at D23. He directed Finding Nemo, so he's back for the sequel, which is awesome. And he basically spoke about the film, basically saying that Dory's a charming, forgetful fish, one that we all love. And if we want to dig into her backstory and figure out, where is she from? What's her story? I mean, because in Finding Nemo, all we've known from her is she's just a fish who's wandering, who makes friends with Marlin.
Oh yeah.
To go find Nemo, and she ended up being a pretty lovable character. Everyone I know pretty much loved her. So basically, they weren't confident in moving forward until they knew they had another story to tell. And this is the story of Dory. So, after he spoke some words, Ellen DeGeneres, who voices Dory, came on stage.
Oh,
with
nice.
Ed O'Neill.
I didn't know that. That's cool.
Who plays Hank the octopus, and Ty Burrow, who plays an unnamed beluga whale. That's cool. They all took the stage, and they presented a short clip basically showing that Dory struggles to remember where she's from. And she finally, after some time, realizes that her parents don't know where she is. So it's kind of on both sides. They want to know, where is she, and so on and so forth. So she convinces Marlin, who just went on a crazy adventure to find his son, to go help her find her parents. And so after some time, Marlin decides to, okay, I'll go help you. And they go on another adventure.
Yeah, I'm not losing my mind over a sequel to Finding Nemo coming out, but I'm gonna be there in theaters when it comes out. I loved Finding Nemo. It's a great little film. This excites me because I didn't think that Marlin and Nemo were gonna be in the movie. And if they're in the movie throughout the whole thing, that's exciting to me. I thought it was going to be like a prequel, honestly, showing her background. But even though we are going to get a lot of information on her past, I'm just excited to see them three together again. Are you looking forward to Finding Dory at all?
Yeah, I am. But I thought Finding Nemo.
It's not your most anticipated movie of 2016.
I thought Finding Nemo ended so well, and I kind of like when Pixar does original films only, other than like the Toy Stories, obviously. But it excites me because I read some character descriptions and stuff, and there's a whale shark who thinks she's a whale, not a shark, and they're kind of going with these quirky characters that go alongside Dory. So it fits in. I don't know if I'll love it as much as Finding Nemo. I might, but. I like that they're kind of taking, because Dory did become one of the more favorable characters of that movie, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
And I love seeing that they're taking a different approach and stuff like that. I love that. I forget who's cast as for Dory's mom, but it was some name that I really liked.
Diane Keaton.
That's what it was. Yeah, it was Diane Keaton and Dory's mom,
nice.
Which is pretty cool. So it's gonna be cool to see the relationship between, or when we see it at least, Dory and her parents whenever that happens. So.
Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to it. You know, the sequel's not necessary, but it'll be cool. It's not a bad thing. So also to come out of Pixar, nothing we're going to talk about too much, but they announced a new film that they're working on called Coco, and it's supposed to be revolve around the Mexican holiday, the Day of the Dead. And Gio, was there any other things regarding that movie that was interesting, or?
Yeah, so director Lee Unkrich, who did Toy Story 3, basically talked about how the film's inspired by the Mexican holiday, Dia de los Muertos. Oh, God, my Spanish is horrible. I'm sorry, you guys.
That was pretty good, honestly.
Yeah. So the name of the film, Coco, is pretty much comes from the main character, which is a 12-year-old boy growing up in rural Mexico. The director said the film was inspired by the juxtaposition of skeletons with bright, festive colors. Because for anyone who's seen the holiday and the celebration, it's pretty colorful, and visually it's amazing to look at. It really is. It's something special. So they showed a short clip, pretty much showed some skeletons and bright colors dancing and playing music. If anything, it's a very spiritual, fun, beautiful film. I can't really say too much. I haven't seen it, but based off of what we're going off of here, it looks like it could be pretty fun and something for Pixar to explore.
What was that movie that came out last year that was based on the Day of the Dead as well? Do you guys remember that animated film? I'm trying to look it up. I know Guillermo del Toro produced it, but anyways, I don't know. This movie doesn't excite me as much because that movie came out recently. Why can't I think of the name? Oh, The Book of Life. That's the movie. It sounds very similar to that. So I don't know how, and that movie wasn't received well critically. So that doesn't mean this one's not going to be either. But I don't know. It just sounds so similar, and I think people are going to be like, "Wait, wasn't there a movie that just came out like that?" And it's going to turn people away. But does this sound exciting to you at all, Jake?
I mean, anything Pixar kind of sounds exciting.
Pixar, that's the thing.
But if you don't know what the Day of the Dead is, you can see that this fall in Spectre in the opening scene.
That's true.
Hey, there you go.
But
nice
no, I
reference.
mean, yeah, it's Pixar. I'm sure I'm gonna go see it just because it's Pixar. It's what they do, and I like them seeing them going out of the realm of their box. Going to different countries and different, using diversity of things around the world. So it's cool. I'll wait till I see any kind of footage or anything. But yeah, I mean, Pixar name on it, I'm in. So.
No, you're right. It sounds. I didn't think about that because pretty much all their movies are based in America, and it's centered around American characters. So I'm curious to see what Pixar can do in a different culture. And if it's Pixar, I'm there. I'm in theaters. I'm there. So Gio, does this excite you, man? I know you talked about it a little bit, but.
Oh, yeah. Like I said, just to see Pixar, dive into something else. And if there's anything that we know from Pixar is that their stories have heart, they're very fun, emotional, and all that. And we're just going to see this holiday celebration get introduced to general audiences everywhere.
That's true.
And so this is good, and knowing Pixar, they're going to take care of this and handle it with much care.
I think so.
So, yeah, guys, look out for Coco. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah, a couple other things from Pixar. I believe they showed a picture with a bunch of posters on it, right? Was that official from D23?
Well, someone took a picture of like 5 posters in a row. And
included in that was Cars 3, Y, and... The Incredibles 2, yes, please. So, anything you guys excited for any of those movies? Or obviously, Incredibles 2, everyone's looking forward to.
Yeah, I like how they did the they split the I in half.
Like Roman numerals. Yeah, that's awesome.
That was cool. And Cars 3, if it makes money, Disney and their
that's all that one. That's a cash grab if I've ever seen one, because Cars 2 was not good.
We don't know, Yeah. I mean, and also
it's for the kids, guys.
Yeah.
It's for the kids. Well, anyways, for those of you who don't know, Disney doesn't just own other properties like Star Wars, Marvel, and Pixar. They also make their own movies from Walt Disney Studios, and there was a few interesting things to come out of that. But one of the biggest and most exciting things that I heard about was the Jungle Book movie, directed by Jon Favreau.
That's live action, right?
Yes, it's live action, and from what I'm hearing, it looks incredible. Obviously, we didn't see it. I haven't even read up on the footage. I heard somebody that I really trust talk about it, and it looks amazing. Gio, you know a little bit more about this than we do. So what came out of the Jungle Book live action movie directed by Jon Favreau?
Yeah, so Jon Favreau and Disney executives took the stage for Jungle Book, and they talked about pretty much how this film will use ultra-modern CG technology and apply it to such an old classic story tell. And basically, Favreau talked about, you know, the filmmaking process, how most of it was shot in downtown LA, even though, I mean, I haven't seen the footage, but from what they've said, you couldn't tell that was all, you know, from one location in LA.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So basically, Favreau talked about all that stuff, the process. What he said to me really, I mean, not to me, but what he said during that event really kind of got me, you know, a little bit excited for this. When he said the best CGI for me is the kind that is so good it disappears, which tells me that he's going to use the CGI to really, it's going to look like some next level stuff, basically. And so, yeah, he talked a little bit about that. He brought Ben Kingsley on stage, who voices Bagheera, that's the Dark Panther, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe so, yeah.
And I might get this name wrong, but Neil Sethi?
I think it's Seti.
Seti?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's voicing Mowgli?
Mowgli?
Is he playing Mowgli?
Oh, he's playing Mowgli.
Yeah,
it's
sorry,
live
guys.
action.
Oh, I'm terrible.
Yeah, they brought the kid out, right?
Yeah, they brought the kid
Yeah.
out. They brought Ben Kingsley out, and they presented some unfinished footage to those in attendance. And basically, for a rundown, they're calling the CGI some next level stuff. Empire Magazine said Jungle Book footage is pretty incredible. Photorealistic backgrounds. Bill Murray as Baloo. Idris Elba as Shere Khan. Amazing. Like, really perfect casting. But what stole the show was at the very end of the footage, they showed Christopher Walken voicing King Louie.
Oh, wow.
And that was just incredible. Yeah.
So they're going like direct adaptation of the animated movie, right? That's awesome.
And so Jungle Book, real quickly, it's being described visually as hybrid, which is a blend of photorealistic CGI and live action. Think James Cameron's Avatar. Substitute the aliens for photorealistic CG creatures.
I cannot wait.
This is going to look amazing. And the cast itself is phenomenal. So, yeah.
Jake, does this excite you at all? Are you looking forward to this movie?
Oh, yeah. I've been waiting for this one for a while. From the moment I heard about it, I've really come to love Jon Favreau as a director. Not just from the Iron Man movies, but Chef was one of my favorites from last year. So, and then the cast that he brought on board, you know, Scarlett Johansson, Idris Elba, Bill Murray, Ben Kingsley, Lupita Nyong'o. It's incredible. And hearing that it got such a good appreciation at D23 is really, really exciting. I read somewhere that it was more loved by the fans than like Captain America. And, like,
that's what the stuff I'm hearing.
So that's really, really good news. And like every other kid out there, I kind of grew up on a Jungle Book. You know, movie. You're born to it.
Bare necessities, man.
So, it's great. It has everything going for it right now. It's been like what 50 years since they've been wanting a live action Jungle Book movie.
Man,
so
a legit one. They have made some.
The 94 film wasn't that bad.
It's really exciting, and I'm glad to hear that it got such a good ovation there. So.
Yeah, I'm so looking forward to this, man. Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't Jon Favreau and company say that this is going to be the most technologically advanced movie ever made? They came out and said
something like
that.
that. Yes.
Obviously, that's their opinion, but they know what's going into this movie.
Well, it's Disney, so I would imagine so.
Oh, I'm sure they're
Guys,
giving it their all. And
They,
with a brand recognition like the Jungle Book, it's going to make loads of money. What's interesting to me is there's another Jungle Book adaptation coming in the next 2 years from Warner Bros.
Andy Serkis.
And it's made by directed by Andy Serkis, the motion capture master. It's really weird to me because you hear Favreau say something like the most technologically advanced movie ever. So what does that mean for Andy Serkis, who's the leader in motion capture? Like, is his going to be even better? So, and the cast for that movie is amazing, but I just think that's a little weird that these movies are coming out so close together, but I'm looking forward to both of them. Hopefully they're different enough to where we can enjoy them separately.
Yeah, this is going to be quite a showdown. This ain't Hercules, y'all, like Dwayne Johnson and
and
that other one.
Kellen
No.
Yeah.
This is like two all-star casts, going at it a year apart. So next year is
It's going to be so weird for casual movie fans, though. They're going to be like, what? What? Jungle Book? There was just one last year.
Do you know who's voicing Shere Khan in the other one?
I know the cast for that one is incredible.
Yeah.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Oh my goodness.
Cumberbatch.
That's crazy. Both of those casts are amazing, but we're not here to talk Warner Bros. Though. I thought it was a little interesting.
Oh, we're not?
No. So yeah, there was a bunch of other stuff to come from Walt Disney Pictures. They're working on a movie called Moana. Is that an animated movie?
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't know much about it. Gio, is there anything noteworthy about that movie?
Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
A lot.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson is starring in it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, co-directors Ron Clements and John Musker, who directed Aladdin, are directing this film. Dwayne Johnson is starring as a demigod who goes on an adventure with a young woman, and they go and explore beyond the Pacific Ocean. This film is going to touch on Pacific Islander culture. It's going to have a lot of singing because the guy who like music, kind of like a sing-along kind of music stuff. The Grammy-winning composer Mark Mancina, who worked on the Lion King, will work on this music along with oh boy, I might get this wrong. Opataya Foal.
Wow.
I am so sorry to my Pacific Islander brothers out there. Like, I'm embarrassing myself right now. But they will also work on the music as well. And this film, I mean, all right, how can I say this? It's gonna really hit home for me because I'm a Pacific Islander, and I cannot express how excited I am to see this, to see Dwayne Johnson attached to it, to see them explore a little bit of my culture in this film, and I know it's gonna look amazing.
Yeah. So is this based on any type of source material, or is this an original idea?
This is an original story.
Oh, nice, dude.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know much about it, but it sounds cool. The Rock can do no wrong, even with his voice. So I'm looking forward to it. It sounds very interesting. Is it something that catches your eye, Jake?
Yeah, for sure. And The Rock, because I follow him on social media, he's really excited about this. Really,
I remember when he signed on for it. It was a whole news story that he signed on for this movie.
He's posting Instagram pictures and like Twitter and stuff, and he's super excited.
I love The Rock, man. I love how passionate he is.
Yeah, I saw an image for it, and it was beautiful. It was a pretty beautiful image.
Wow.
And, the whole Pacific Islander thing is really cool, and I know it's not Pixar, but it's Disney, venturing out and going into different cultures and ideas and stuff, and it's really cool to see. And I don't know if I dig the whole sing-along thing, but if it works, it works. I liked Aladdin, and the sing-along thing worked, and so but for right now it's pretty cool. I like it.
Yeah, it sounds very interesting. Another Walt Disney original animated movie coming is Zootopia. We've had a teaser trailer for this for a while now, but it doesn't really show anything regarding the actual story. It just kind of showed some of the characters. So, Gio, was there any new information regarding Zootopia?
Let's see. Well, I mean, I haven't been following Zootopia that much.
Yeah,
so
well,
a
according
lot
to
of
your
this
notes,
stuff-
the filmmakers came out, the actress Jennifer Goodwin, producer Clark Spencer, they came out and showed an in-depth look at some footage from Zootopia, and it got some good reactions from the crowd, a lot of laughter, and then the visuals looked really good. So, I mean, I'm not too excited for this movie, but I'm going to reserve that judgment until I see a real trailer for it. Jake, did Zootopia catch your eye at all?
It's okay. I mean, it's kind of an idea we've seen before, but I really like that Jason Bateman's voicing the fox.
Yeah, it really fits.
Yeah,
I liked that.
I like him a lot, and I mean, it's Disney, and you never know what they can pull out of their hat, and it's a cool idea and everything, but so.
Yeah, I mean, it's, who knows? I don't really know much about it. There's I believe there's a synopsis somewhere online, but other than that, we don't really know what the story's gonna be.
Well, I mean, pretty much it's a rabbit who wants to become like a big city cop, but she's not fit to be.
She's a small little rabbit. What
she's
can
kind
she
of like
do,
fighting
right?
to like
prove herself in a way.
She believes that, you know, like you could be whoever you want or something.
Oh, that's cool. I mean, it looked funny. The teaser trailer looks funny to me. If they have that humor in it, it looks like something I'll be interested in.
The fox, this is from Geo. He's a con artist, and they team up for a missing persons case.
Oh, okay, that could be interesting. It looks like they have a good dynamic, the two characters. So.
Well, it's funny, a fox and a rabbit.
Oh, I know, right? So. Yeah. So exactly. So a couple more things coming from Walt Disney Pictures. 2 movies starring Johnny Depp, if I'm not mistaken. Is he returning for Alice Through the Looking Glass? Okay, so the sequel to Alice in Wonderland live action movie is coming, and it's titled Alice Through the Looking Glass. And was there some news to come out from that movie, Gio?
Yes. So real quickly, James Bobbin is directing, not Tim Burton. So James Bobbin did the Muppets and the Muppets Most Wanted.
That was announced at D23?
Well, that was no. Actually,
did we already know that?
Yeah.
I was under the impression that Tim Burton was directing it. I'm actually relieved to hear that because I did not like the first one, so I'm relieved to hear that.
Yeah. So another big return win is Colleen Atwood returns as a costume designer, who won an Oscar for Alice in Wonderland for her work on costume designs, which looked pretty good. The star of the film, Mia Wasikowska, she describes the film as being very different from the first. We'll have more practical effects as opposed to the first film, which had 90% green screen.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so that's another good plus. Sacha Baron Cohen took the stage, and he's playing a character called Time. And they introduced a short clip with Baron Cohen in character, and basically telling Alice you cannot win in a race against time because she's trying to save her friend, the Mad Hatter, who is growing evil and is threatening the whole world, so to speak. And so I mean, it's pretty much most of the main players are returning. You have Anne Hathaway, Alan Rickman, Stephen Fry, Michael Sheen. They're all returning, as well as Sacha Baron Cohen, Rhys Ifans. Yeah, God, I'm just mispronouncing names throughout this podcast, guys.
I don't blame you, dude. These are some crazy names.
Andrew Scott. So, Alice Through the Looking Glass.
Yeah, a sequel's a no-brainer. That movie made
$1
billion. Of course they're gonna make a sequel. Jake, does this excite you at all to hear that?
I don't care at all.
Really? Wow.
I didn't even see the first one in full yet. I've seen bits and pieces of it. I mean, the cast is awesome, and I'm sure I'll watch it someday and be like, okay, yeah, I see what it's doing. But no, it's
not your thing.
I could care less right now.
I understand. I'm encouraged that they're giving it to another director, and that they know that the first one wasn't beloved by fans and critics, and I think they're going to try to fix those problems. So another movie starring Johnny Depp, the new Pirates of the Caribbean movie, Dead Man Tell No Tales. So apparently Johnny Depp came out full Jack Sparrow at D23, man. I wish I was there because that sounds awesome. Gio, what information came out regarding Dead Men Tell No Tales?
Well, they confirmed that Orlando Bloom is returning
That
as
I like that.
Turner,
That's awesome.
Captain of the Flying Dutchman, and pretty much they showed some footage. Wait, did they show some footage? Hold on. No, they unveiled the logo for Dead Man Tell No Tales, and pretty much announced Will Turner's returning. Other than that, it's everything else is pretty much, I mean, the same. Yeah, you know.
So the story is going to involve Will's son, right? Is
an element
of Will's son.
Yeah,
okay.
He's been gone for 10 years, and so he's going to try and reconnect with his son.
Okay, that sounds interesting. Jake, you seem excited about this movie. Are you looking forward to Pirates 5?
Stoked. Okay, so I love the first one. I'm okay with the second one, and then it kind of just came on a downhill spiral from there. I really like that, you know, Johnny Depp's returning. I think the Captain Jack Sparrow role is just absolutely incredible. I mean, there's nothing you can do about it. I like that Orlando Bloom is returning. I kind of wish Keira Knightley would return, but that's just me.
Too.
The thing that gets me most excited is that it's a whole new team behind it. A new director, a new writer. It's not the same people from 3 and 4.
Good.
So it can go in a different direction. I totally love these movies. They're kind of guilty pleasure for me. You know, this whole Pirates world is really fun. It's all go for here. I'm really looking forward to it. It just sucks that it's still 2 years away.
Yeah.
2017.
I think this sounds great. I think the story involves Jack searching for the Trident of Poseidon, which sounds awesome. That sounds incredible. Who knows what they're gonna do with that? And like you, the first Pirates of the Caribbean is a great film. It's a great movie. I didn't really like any of the sequels. 2 wasn't horrible, but none of them match up to the first one. So I didn't know they were bringing in a whole new team as far as production and director and everything. So that's very encouraging to me. I'm looking forward to it. When does it come out? July 2017, 2 years from now. Well, we got a lot of blockbusters till then, so I'm sure we'll be entertained until summer 2017. Gio, are you looking forward to this movie?
Oh man, I'm so looking forward to this movie.
Wow.
Like seeing the return of Will Turner and Sparrow.
Yeah, that's really the big news to come out of this. That's awesome.
I love Javier Bardem playing Captain Salazar. I mean, last time I saw him, he was an amazing villain in Skyfall.
Oh yeah, incredible.
Yeah, and I mean, look, if nobody's asking for Pirates of the Caribbean 5, but we're getting one, you could not ask for a better one than this one.
It's gonna make money.
At least on paper, you know, like it looks great.
It's gonna make $1 billion again. So why not?
Well, yeah, why not? Yeah.
And it seems like they actually care about the story this time. That's what catches my eye, because I was not looking forward to those last 2 at all, but it sounds amazing. So yeah, there was a bunch of other little things to come out of D23, but unfortunately we don't have time to cover it all. But there was a whole bunch of little things. I heard they had they focused on the Chris Pine film, The Finest Hours, I believe it's called. I heard that got a good reaction from the crowd. I'm actually looking forward to that movie. I think it's going to demand a good performance from Chris Pine. I'm curious to see what he does under those circumstances. Are you guys looking forward to that film at all, Jake?
Yeah, I mean, I like the trailer that it had. I'm really into movies that are based off true stories.
Yeah, it's a true story, right? It's about the rescue mission, right?
So, and I like seeing the whole, the rescue happening back decades ago. So it's really interesting. I like Chris Pine as an actor. So yeah, it's interesting to me so far.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for period pieces. I love movies set in certain time eras, and I mean, it looks like a pretty cool movie. GR, are you looking forward to this movie at all, or does it seem boring to you?
No, I'm definitely looking forward to this movie. I got a thing for Disney telling films based on true stories. Films filled with inspiration and courage and sacrifice, and like you say, Chris Pine in this role. I can't wait to see.
Yeah, I'm excited to see him in a different type of role, because we've seen him do big blockbusters and comedies, but he hasn't really gotten a chance to show his dramatic chops, which I think he is a good actor, so I think he'll be able to pull it off.
Oh yeah, him, Eric Bana.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen Eric Bana in a while,
Ben
man.
Foster.
Where's he been at, dude? Yeah, it looks really good. I don't know who's the lead actress. She looks like she's given a really good performance. I don't know her name though.
Some lady named Holiday Granger.
Okay, so she's a newcomer.
She was in
as far as
Cinderella.
we know. She was in Cinderella.
Yeah.
Who was she in?
She was
Cinderella?
one of the sisters.
Oh yeah, she was. Yeah, you're right. No, I'm looking forward to that movie. So as far as you guys know, was there anything else to come out of D23 that you guys wanted to touch on, or?
A movie called Gigantic, which is a Disney animated film based off the classic tale of Jack and the Beanstalk.
Oh, nice.
Pretty much set in Spain during the age of exploration. Story follows Jack as he discovers a secret in the clouds populated by giants. Jack befriends a giant named Inma, who is described as 11 years old, 60 feet tall, fiery, feisty, and a lot to control. The villain in the films the film's villains are basically like these 120-foot storm giants.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sounds interesting. It seems like Disney's putting a lot of twists on their stories. Like they gave us Tangled a couple years ago, which was, I didn't even know it was a Rapunzel movie until somebody told me that. I never saw it, but so they're doing a lot of plays on the titles like Tangled, Gigantic, like switching it up. So that's pretty cool. Does this sound interesting to you at all?
Yeah, I wish they would go a different direction and not base it off something they already have in their background.
No, that's true.
But I'll definitely be going to watch it. So
yeah, sounds good. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. This was a long coverage, but it's necessary for all the information that came out of D23. I'm looking forward to a lot of this stuff that they brought out, and I really want to go to a D23 one day now. I mean, Comic-Con's first. I want to go to a Comic-Con, but D23 sounds amazing, especially with Star Wars and Marvel and Pixar and stuff. So, yeah, please let us know in the comments section if there's any of this stuff you're looking forward to, any of the Star Wars, Force Awakens stuff, Star Wars Episode 9 stuff, Star Wars Rogue One stuff, anything from Captain America Civil War and Doctor Strange you're looking forward to, or any of the Pixar or Walt Disney Pictures movies. If there's anything you're looking forward to, anything you're not looking forward to, please let us know in the comment section. That's going to do it for our All D23 podcast, episode number 13. I'm Jacob Bartley, the host of the MTE Movie Podcast. You can find me on Twitter at Jake Ryan Bartley. And don't forget to check out our site, MovieTalkExpress.com. Gio, where can they find you out online, man?
You can find me on Twitter at GeorgiaRamos24, Facebook, Georgia Ramos, and Movie Talk Express every day.
Where can they find you online, Jake?
Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at the Jake Berlin, and Twitter and Facebook at Apocalypse and apocalypse.wordpress.com.
Yeah, and again, you can find our site at MovieTalkExpress.com. You can find us on Facebook at Movie Talk Express, on Twitter at Movie Talk EX. And please don't forget, if you're listening to this and you like anything you hear, hit that subscribe button. It'll really help. And if you're already subscribed, hit that like button. Everything helps us. And thank you again for listening. We'll see you next week.